United Kingdom, summer 2024. Everyone is strapped for cash and costs of flights and package holidays abroad have simply skyrocketed. So, is the UK a viable option as somewhere you can spend your well-earned break? Shortly in this video, I will be exploring Rhyl on the North Wales coast. Once an elegant Victorian resort that saw rapid decline in the 1990s and 2000s. I want to see whether all the extensive recent investment has made a positive impact. I did a video not so long back in the town on a completely different subject, but I didn't really get a chance to have a proper look at what's on offer for tourists. It was also dusk and I was racing to complete the filming before darkness fell. So, has Rhyl changed? Or is the underbelly of high crime, drugs and deprivation still prevalent? The primary reason behind this video was to simply extol the virtues of what we have on our shores, but also for me to get off the computer, stop watching telly, get off my phone and enjoy some lovely midweek summer sunshine. But it's the UK, so nothing is perfect, sadly. Okay, so I've made it to Rhyl, sunny Rhyl, and a little bit of a backstory to this one. So when I was staying in Hornsea at a friend's, hi Nikki if you're watching, hope you're well. I did go to a fish and chip shop called Whitehead's and it was very good, it was okay. But then I had a look at the best fish and chip shops list. I think it might have been Time Out or The Times or whatever it was. And it gave that as number one in the country. This was a couple of years ago now. But number two was where I'm going to go now actually. And it's called Les and Rita's Fish Bar in Rhyl. So we'll have a little wander around. There's a couple of interesting things down this road. Obviously I've covered that Indian restaurant there. A couple of Daleks, exterminate, exterminate. There's a really cool looking church, which I'll just move to show you properly. It's pretty major that. If you're into your churches or architecture. And there's some great tops of buildings, and I've discussed this with friends many times that if you look up you tend to see some really good stuff, don't you, that you miss. So let's go to Les and Rita's, let's have a look. There we are, got the sign there. It's been going a few years, this one. I'm sure I read it's been going around about 55 years. Okay, so the food's arrived. I have to talk quite quietly because I'm on my own in a restaurant. But there we are. That's the fish special. Fish chips and mushy peas. So, and I've got a Coke as well, sugar free. So there we are. That's what we've got. I'll do the proper review when I'm outside afterwards. Okay. Okay, so I'm still in Rhyl. I'm just heading towards the Promenade and the seafront. Just walk off the fish and chips and mushy peas that I've just had in Les and Rita's. They tasted really nice, so I'll talk a little bit about the food first. So, the fish was fried to order. Now, I don't know what fish it was. It possibly was hake. Don't think it was haddock. I didn't see the black line. Did have a look for it, but then again the skin might have been taken off. So, potentially hake. It definitely wasn't cod. The chips were nice, new potatoes. They didn't use beef dripping, so it didn't feel that heavy on the tummy, which is quite good for a lunchtime meal. If I had that on an evening, I might have been a bit disappointed. I had a kind of sugar-free Coke or Coke Zero, whatever you call it as well. The interior, very sort of its time, if you like. I think it's deliberately Art Deco, a bit like Happy Days inside. I did take a photo, which I'll pop up right now. But I didn't want to take too many because there was young families in there eating, so anyway, so it was all right. I think I've been a bit spoiled growing up in Whitby. I do like a bit of the old beef dripping. I like that taste, but then again my belly shows that as well, so it didn't feel unhealthy in any way. So I feel quite light, you know. Sometimes when I have fish and chips back home in Whitby I feel very heavy. So anyway, so for the food, for the taste and everything, I'd probably give it 7 out of 10. If I had done an evening, I'd have given it 6 because of the portion size. Now then, the good news though, it was only, and fish and chip shop owners in Whitby take heed or note, £8.30 to sit in. That's with a drink. So fish chips, mushy peas with a drink, cooked to order, £8.30. Bargain. So that's great. The service was good, even though they cooked to order. It didn't take me long to get my food, probably about 10 minutes. The staff were friendly enough. I wouldn't say they were overtly friendly, but they weren't miserable either. I'm just sat on the promenade in Rhyl. They're doing extensive coastal protection measures at the moment, which has caused a little bit of local controversy, I believe, due to the cost. But it's a beautiful day in Rhyl. Now, the etymology of Rhyl, the name, some people debate it, and they say that it's to do with sunshine. Sunny Rhyl. So, living up to its name today. Probably the sunniest Rhyl I've ever seen. Just in the distance there is where Ruth Ellis was born. The last lady to be publicly executed, for want of a better term. In the UK, covered in another video that I did a while back. As we all know, in the 90s and 2000s it did decline somewhat. Featured on Secret Millionaire and got absolutely berated for that. There's been quite a lot of development though, and it's an ongoing process at the moment. And I'm going to show you the marine lake shortly. People that come from here, well, Steve Strange from Visage, he was born here with Fate's Grey. Lisa Scott Lee from Steps, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nerish Hughes, one of the liver birds, she's obviously from here. Sarah Sugarman, who's an actor and director, and Alexa Davis, who appeared in Mamma Mia. Now, I don't know whether it is because it's sunny, but it looks quite nice today, Rhyl. Not that it doesn't normally, before anybody has a go at me. But it does, it looks quite splendid. Geronimo, etc. Bit of a dragon, we are in Wales after all. So you've got a big indoor play area, for want of a better term, an outdoor one as well, which I won't film, but there you go. SC2 as opposed to S4C, the TV channel, not to be confused with. So in simplistic terms, I can show you what it has. Surprised that's closed, that's why it's closed. All inquiries, it's closed. Okay, Rainforest Diner. A lot of you, the older people watching this, may remember the Sun Centre in Rhyl. It was quite famous, wasn't it? So this is what we've got going on. Go a bit closer. Indoor water park, outdoor splash pad, etc, etc. I'm not going to read them all, but get the idea. It's quite a good thing, quite a cool thing. Especially with good old British weather. So there's plenty of amusements. There's a Premier Inn. Let's see what else we've got. It's a bit of a dead area this. I think I'll come back in a second. Oh no, I won't actually. Oh, because we've got a Vue Cinema there. So Vue Cinema, another good thing if it's pouring down. And it says something else then. So that's good. There's a big tower, well-known Rhyl landmark. Not quite the Eiffel Tower or the Blackpool Tower, but you know, it has its detractors and its fans. There's a few people about, but like I say, keep saying this, it's the height of the summer season. Kids are off, and really you'd imagine it to be heaving, wouldn't you? Nice day, sunny day. Admittedly, it's the middle of the week, so quite a lot of people will be working, but I'm a bit disappointed it isn't packed. And I feel for the businesses, because if they don't make the money in the summer, it's a very long winter, isn't it? Okay, so a little bit more development going on. which looks good. And you may just see that in the distance. We've got the clock tower, which is a very famous landmark of Rhyl. Try not to film families as I normally do. So it's quite a good place to get your bearings, is that clock tower. 12 holes of fun. Now I am going to try and get on the other side of the road again in a minute. It's just that the path ran out on that side, so it's forced me to cross over. It's kind of like the main shopping-y bit if you want any tat while you're here. Now the sea aquarium, that building's due to get knocked down in the autumn. It's a bit of a shame, but due to all the coastal repair work that's going on, the animals would have been very stressed, the seals and so on. So they had to make a decision, and the decision was that they pulled out. The council paid to have the animals rehomed, which cost a pretty penny, but I'm quite glad they did that for the animals' sake. Bit of an animal lover myself, as you probably know, those that know me. So yeah, that's coming down. It is a bit of an eyesore, to be fair, when you look at the roof. I don't know what's going to go in its place. That's quite nice, a little water feature with a pond. It is quite nice when you look at it a bit closer. Nice flower bed there, some nice greenery, and that roundabout's really nice with the flowers and so on. And you've got Rhyl spelt in flowers. You know, it's on the up, definitely on the up. So much better than it used to be. And I'm sure it'll be so much better in a couple of years as well, given what they're doing to the place. So all of those people that still have that perception about Rhyl, maybe you watched Secret Millionaire or whatever, it's not that bad now. Like anywhere, it's got its moments, because there's still quite a lot of how can I put it, bedsits if you like, and homes of multiple occupancy and so on and so forth, and people that are a little bit down on their luck. So there is that, and you get quite a lot of that in seaside towns like Blackpool and places. Scarborough, classic example, there was a lot of that. So this is quite a good natural amphitheatre. Well, I say natural, it looks like it's been built obviously, but a bit of an amphitheatre. I think we've got a performer actually already. Yeah, so I don't know whether they put big gigs on in this space or not. I know they do somewhere in Rhyl. This would be an obvious choice for me, given that it's an amphitheatre, but if they don't, then maybe they should. I know they put the gigs on, but I don't know where. But I think a lot of the acts that play at the Scarborough Open Air Theatre, they tend to come here as well. It's kind of like a circuit, a bit like the forests, you know, Dolby Forest and Delamere. They have the same artists on, don't they? So what a great space that is. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with Rhyl, to what it was. I remember coming here a few years ago and it was completely different, shall we say. Don't need to say any more than that, do I? But it looks great, so I think people need to come here, use it, take advantage of all the upgrades. It's got a lovely beach as well. Tarred lifeboat. There we are. We'll go too close to families and stuff on the beach, but you get the idea. It's a lovely big beach. Stretches for miles. Tide's well and truly out, as you can see. Just a little bit further down the promenade now, there's a nice bowling green there in immaculate condition. RNLI. East Parade Bowling Club, looks really nice. Great day for a bit of bowls today, I think. That's your thing. I'm very, very impressed with the shrubbery, you know. It looks so good. They've really made an effort. few tents there. People camping. Look at this. It's lovely. Got the water feature with a little froggy frog, ribbit. So if you carried on down this road, you actually end up in Prestatyn. Let's have a look at this nice little park, shall we? Didn't know it was a campsite here. Wasn't aware of that. Interesting. Okay, so it's a garden of remembrance. Okay, so I won't talk too much and I'll be respectful. A beautiful, calm place just off the beaten track. Yeah, they have a beach festival, you see. That's what I was sort of alluding to earlier. But I don't know where exactly it takes place, but I know it's well attended and it's a big do. And there you have it. It's actually showing my favourite theatre play or production of all time. There we are, and it looks like the Big Daddy as well that's on tour. So didn't know that. I don't know why they do that, you know. They did it in London. They put the same message over and over. Maybe it's for cars, I suppose. Just seems a waste of banners, you know. So there we are. That's on. It doesn't give a date though, so that's not great, is it? It's got all them different banners. What I'd have done, I'd have put like the big strong message, banner by banner. But there you go. That's why I'm not a marketing director, I guess. But yeah, it's quite smart, isn't it? So what do you reckon, folks? Rhyll's not too bad, is it really? So it's a big bar. Sorry, I stand corrected. 1891 is the bar. So it's like the pre-show bar. So they've got it all sewn up. And it connects to the Pavilion Theatre, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. It looks like it's got a fair amount of car parking provision, but it has anyway, hasn't it? And there we have it. So that's the seafront sorted, pretty much. It looks like a zip world's coming to Rhyl as well, if that sign's anything to go by. It does say site entrance, so, wow, that'd be something else if there's a zip world going all the way out towards the sea. Wow. I know the Zip World down by Snowdon does immense business, so that would bring quite a lot of people to the area. It's expensive, but it's one of those bucket list jobbies, isn't it? And it is meant to be very exhilarating. I want to do it. I really do. So there we are. There's Zip World coming, I think. I'll have to check that out when I get home, okay? And it's right next to the 1891 feeder bar and the Theatre Pavilion. Okay, then, just to finish off in Rhyl, thought I'd come to the marine lake. It's really nice here. I imagine it's even nicer out of season. You can just come and gather your thoughts, have a walk around the lake. There's a little train that goes all the way around, like a little noddy train. Remember them at Butlins years ago? It's really nice here. You get to see the birds close up. And the gulls, so on. But there's lots of wildlife here. See bird life really. So you can come and have a picnic. There's plenty of benches and things. Park your car up and have a mooch. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I know it's a bit different to what I've been doing lately, but it is celebrating good old Britannia. And if you're at a loss for what to do in the school holidays, you could do far worse if the weather's right by coming to Rhyl and Prestatyn. But like I pointed out, there are some things to do indoors as well. So I haven't been paid anything by Denbighshire Council for this. All I ask is that you give us a nice little subscribe and join the channel and get in touch. Like it, share it. Alright, cheers, thank you for watching, all the best. So here we are at Pontins, now closed, as I explained. And it's a real crying shame, isn't it? I'm just going to pop it through here so you can have a look. No, I never went to Pontins as a child, but I did go to Butlins, and I certainly remember the excitement I felt nearing the gates of the entrance, and the fact that I was going to have a really good hollybobs. So it's a real shame. So a little bit about this site then. It opened in 1971, and Pontins as a brand started in just after the war actually by Fred Pontin. And I guess this is most famous for featuring in the On the Buses, I think it was Holiday on the Buses film. It was filmed here. So if you can see that. And that was in 1973, so I guess it was filmed not long after it opened, really. Yeah, so it's a real shame. This time last year it would have been buzzing. Obviously not as buzzing as Britannia Hotels wanted it. Now there is talk of Butlins looking at it, but I think that's more from the MP trying to lobby them and see whether a deal can be brokered. Just another view there of Pontins.